Namaste. Good morning, distinguished guest. Give me a minute. Good morning, distinguished guests, fellow quality professionals, and esteemed organizers of the World Quality Congress and Awards 2025. First and foremost, I'd like to express my heartfelt appreciation to Dr. R.L. Bhatia, founder World CSR Day and World Sustainability, to the organizing committee for the kind invitation and for providing this platform to exchange knowledge, insights, and innovations that shape the future of quality. My name is Farid Ahmad. You can just call me Wan. And I serve as the Special Officer to the Director General of the Malaysia Productivity Corporation, an agency under the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, MITI of Malaysia, where I work at the intersection of public policy, productivity and knowledge management. Today, I am honored to speak on a topic that is increasingly becoming a cornerstone of quality transformation, which is knowledge management as the backbone of quality excellence. In a world where information moves faster than ever, organizations that know how to harness, share and apply knowledge effectively are the ones that thrive. I'll be sharing some of Malaysia's experience, particularly the we call it the E10 Kulim project. Kulim is actually a state, a district in the state of Kedah, up north in Malaysia, as a practical case of how knowledge-centric approaches can deliver high-impact results. So let's dive in. Don't worry about the slides, I will share them with you. Right. So let's begin by reframing how we view knowledge management. Traditionally, KM or knowledge management was seen as a support function, an internal service focused on archiving documents or organizing data. But today, KM has evolved into a strategic driver central to innovation, operational excellence, and long-term sustainability. In the quality agenda, knowledge is no longer a byproduct. It's a catalyst, whether it's reducing errors, shortening process cycles, or improving customer satisfaction. The ability to systematically manage knowledge can make or break performance. Malaysia recognized this shift early. For decades, through institutions like the Malaysia Productivity Corporation, MPC, we've championed quality and productivity as national imperatives. From the Look East policy era, from the era of our former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, to today's digital transformation initiatives, quality has always been a cornerstone of Malaysia's economic strategy, and increasingly, knowledge management has been embedded as a key enabler of that quality journey. To ensure our time together is meaningful today, let me briefly outline what you can expect from this session. First, I aim to bring clarity to how knowledge management aligns with and accelerates quality excellence, especially in a fast-moving, interconnected world. Secondly, we will ensure relevance by connecting these ideas directly to challenges and priorities many of you are already facing in your organizations, whether it is in policy, operations, or service delivery. And thirdly, I'll share a practical case study from Malaysia, the E10 Kulim project, which demonstrates how a knowledge-driven approach led to faster outcome, stronger collaboration, and better service for investors. And toward the end of the session, I hope you will see knowledge management not just as a concept, but as a real tool ready to be applied for quality breakthroughs in your own context. Right, knowledge management, the nervous system of an organization. Okay. Now, I'd like you to think of an organization as a living body. The structure, your teams, processes, technologies are like the skeleton and muscles in your body, right? But what really keeps everything coordinated, responsive, intelligent is the nervous system. That's what knowledge management is, the nervous system of an organization. It ensures that the right signals, knowledge, insights, lessons are transmitted quickly, accurately, and to the right places so the organization can act in the real time, adapt, and improve. At the heart of KM, the synergy between tacit, the unseen knowledge, and the explicit knowledge, the tangible knowledge, right, is codified, like the explicit knowledge, like manuals, standard operating procedures, and databases, easy to capture and easy to share. Whereas the tacit knowledge is experiential. What your best people know, what they've learned on the ground and throughout the years, their insights, they are often undocumented, and which leads to normally knowledge loss within the organization. So you've got your best people serving for more than 30 years, and suddenly retirement comes by, and you have no knowledge retention programs in place, and that's where the knowledge actually walks out of the organization. Right, so when you can connect both, codify the explicit and capture the tacit, you unlock a powerful flow of intelligence. This is how high-performing organizations create learning loops and continuous improvements. Now, let's look at how knowledge management reinforces the PDCA cycle, which is at the heart of quality management. During the plan phase, KM ensures that decisions are based on past lessons, data, and best practices, and not guesswork. In the do phase, teams can access standard operating procedures, checklists, and expert guidance, so execution is aligned and informed. The check phase is strengthened when knowledge from audits, feedback, and performance reviews is systematically captured and shared throughout the organization. And in the act phase, KM helps embed those lessons so we don't just fix issues, we build institutional memory for future improvements. This loop becomes stronger with each cycle, turning organization into a learning system, not just process-driven ones. And this approach is gaining global traction. International standards such as ISO 30401 now recognize knowledge management as a formal discipline with structured processes, governance, and continuous improvements at its core. In short, KM isn't just good practice, it's becoming best practice. Right. Quality and productivity, two sides of the same coin. Let's explore a fundamental truth. Quality and productivity are not separate goals. They are two sides of the same coin, like I've said. You can improve productivity by cutting corners on quality. And you can't sustain quality without a productive, efficient system behind it. When quality improves, rework drops, customer satisfaction increases, and workflows become smoother, all of which raises productivity. Conversely, when we adopt productive tools and lean methods, we free up resources and time to focus on doing things right and doing the right things. In Malaysia, the Malaysia Productivity Corporation, an agency under the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, plays a catalytic role in this ecosystem. Okay, and I'm going to talk a bit about the E10 Kulim project now. So Kulim is actually a state up north in Malaysia, all right? A district, the district in the state of Kedah, up north in Malaysia. And it is a microcosm of integrated development, right? Kulim is more than just a location. It is a microcosm of integrated development. It represents the convergence of investment, infrastructure, policy, governance, and crucially people working together with a shared vision. What we witnessed in Kulim wasn't just administrative efficiency or regulatory compliance, it was the power of collaboration between local authorities, investors, state agencies, and the Malaysia Productivity Corporation. Everyone had a role, and knowledge flowed across boundaries. Lessons weren't siloed, they were shared. Gaps weren't ignored, they were solved together. This period of cooperation laid the foundation of a fast-track process that supported quality execution, reduced delays, and ultimately delivered real value to stakeholders. In short, Kulim is a case study in how collaborative knowledge management can drive quality excellence on the ground. So, the tools that made it work, the enablers of knowledge flow, behind the Kulim success story were not just good intentions, but smart tools and systems that enabled knowledge to flow effectively. We're looking at knowledge management systems, of course. First, we had a dedicated knowledge management portal, a centralized digital space where stakeholders could upload documents, track approvals, access checklists, and review guidelines in real time. And this removed ambiguity and improved coordination. Secondly, feedback loops were institutionalized. Investors, officers, and technical agencies shared insights after each project milestone. These were captured and turned into actionable improvements for future cases, creating a culture of learning, and then this is very important, not the blaming game. Thirdly, knowledge audits. Knowledge audits were conducted. This helped us identify what knowledge existed, where gaps were, and how to bridge them, especially in onboarding new officers, new personnel, or sharing lessons between departments. At the heart of it all was data. Used not just for reporting, but for smart governance. Right. So real-time data dashboards, we have a dashboards, digital dashboards, help decision makers intervene early, optimize processes, and ensure transparency. This combination of technology, structure, and shared purpose made the system resilient and scalable. So, if you look at the key success factors, knowledge management is a culture. We're looking at a culture and not just a tool. One of the most important lessons from the Kulim experience and from our broader national work is this: knowledge management cannot succeed in isolation. It must be championed from the top and embraced across sectors. Tools and platforms can help, yes, but without leadership commitment, without alignment across agencies, and without a culture that values knowledge, even the best system will fail. So we're talking about the people, process, and technology, right? It's all about getting the people with the right culture in. Technology will be there as an enabler. In Kulim, we had a strong top-down support, this is very important, from the municipal leaders, state authorities, and the national level in which Malaysia Productive Cooperation facilitates, whereby we directly liaise with the Prime Minister's office in facilitating the investors and stakeholders. This sent a clear signal. Knowledge management is not a side project, it is a priority. And at the same time, cross-sector involvement was crucial. Engineers, planners, officers, investors, they all contributed insights, they all contributed and shared knowledge and helped improve the system. Ultimately, KM becomes a culture. It's about having the right mindset, behaviors, and trust. It's about sharing what works, learning from what doesn't, and making improvement with everyone's job. Okay. Now, if you look at the results and impact, okay, so what did the Kulim E10 brought, the tangible results are actually a 40% reduction in permit approval time. So the number of months has been reduced from 34 months to only 10 months, okay, 40%. And zero major delays in pilot project execution, right? 30% agencies were involved, 100 plus lessons captured and reused, and more than 90% satisfaction scores from stakeholders, communication and coordination, right? Right. Now, if you look at the results and impact, okay, Reflections and transferable lessons. As with any real-world initiative, the Cooling project had both successes and learning points. What worked well? Strong leadership and shared vision across agencies. Okay. Early integration of KM tools. Not really. Not as an afterthought, but as part of the practice of delivering key results to the stakeholders. Okay. So the transferable lessons for others. If you look at it, what you need to do is actually to, think big. You have a pilot test, then scale the KM initiatives, build ownership and not compliance, involve the people early, make them part of the journey, and embed KM into the workflows. And this is most important. That's that you need to celebrate and share stories of successes throughout the project team, because this actually drives the culture more than just technology and data. Right. Now, as we reflect on the Kulim case and Malaysia's journey, one thing becomes clear: knowledge management is both global and local. The principles of KM, collaboration, learning, documentation, improvement, are universal. They apply whether you're managing a hospital in Europe, a smart city in Asia, or a supply chain in Africa. But how you apply KM must always be sensitive to the local context. So the culture of decision making, the capacity of institutions, and the readiness of the knowledge management system or systems, so to speak, and the people itself. In Malaysia, we adapted KM to fit our public service environment, our multilingual teams, and our regulatory frameworks. The key is to anchor knowledge management in shared principle but customize the approach so that it truly serves the people and the purpose. In this way, KM becomes not just a system but a strategy, not just a tool but a mindset, and in that we find common ground across borders, across sectors, and across disciplines. Right, so call to action. Inaction is the biggest risk. Okay? Right. In today's fast-moving, knowledge-rich world, inaction is the biggest risk, and knowledge is created, lost or underused every day. So the real question now here is that, are we capturing, sharing, and using it to drive quality forward? We want to move forward, and it is all on the leadership. It's a leadership decision. And I've put here the 3 practical steps in which you would require. Is that first you have to map your critical knowledge within the organization. What must be protected? What must be shared? Not everything must be shared, right? They are also confidential information, but the level of sharing, you have to understand that, and scaled. Start small but visibly. Pilot knowledge management in one process unit and share results, and make KM part of the culture. Celebrate the sharing, reward the learners, recognition, and improvers. And of course, quality without knowledge is fragile, and with KM, quality becomes sustainable, scalable, and future ready. Right, I've come to the conclusion part. Hang on. Now, before I end, I want to leave you with this idea. Okay, knowledge management is not just a technical exercise; it is a transformative force. It shapes how we learn, how we lead, and how we build resilient, high-performing organizations. Whether you are in the public sector, private enterprises, or civil society, right? KM offers a path to greater agility, deeper insight, and lasting quality. Well, the tool matters, yes. Technology, yes, of course. Now we're talking about artificial intelligence and all that. But in the end, we're still human, and it's the mindset and the culture that make the real difference driving forward. with the people together. Thank you all for your attention, your commitment to excellence, and your shared belief in the power of knowledge to make a better world. I look forward to connecting with many of you and learning from your journeys as well. Namaste. So this is my contact. You can take a picture. You can always drop me an email, and I'll be more than happy to share further information regarding the E10 cooling project. Of course, I cannot share everything here. Okay. Thank you very much.